Hello, my crafty friends and creatives from around the globe. Welcome back to the studio. We are here in the next part of our January fairy journal, the U Fairy. In the first part of this series, we together made this cover for our journal. And so we made the spine, which was 9 by 6, or the covers, which were 9 by 6, and then the spine, which was 1.5 by 9. We covered it in fabric, and then we put in these papers together. You helped. You did. So this is where we are, and this is the piece of the cover. I'm not going to do the cover until last, and as a general rule, that's what I like to do, because if I'm building out the interior and there's some elements of the interior that I find interesting, I may want to add them to the cover. Kind of like when you go to a restaurant and you have food and there's an ingredient inside, they put a little bit of that ingredient as a garnish on the outside so you know that it's in the food. Similar to that. So like if I use some pretty thing inside, I may want to put that element on the outside. So I always do the cover last. And another thing is we don't sew in our signatures until the very end. So when I was first starting with junk journaling, I used to sew in the signatures and then decorate them once they're sewn in. But I found that it left me little opportunity to do some of the other things that I may have wanted to do, like sew or add lace or cut out pieces or just various things that I couldn't do because now I had sewn it into the journal. So it just made it a little more difficult. So nobody really ever said that, so I hope this helps save you some time there, is that always sew your journal signatures in last. Get them all decorated, and we'll do that. Obviously, if you're doing something like an altered book or that, you're not going to have that opportunity, but there's other ways to get around that. But yeah, we'll sew them in last. So we'll put our cover off to the side because the only thing we're really going to need it for is to make sure that as we're folding our paper, it measures up right. And today we're going to, well, actually it's the same day for me, maybe a different day for you. We're just going to fold up some of our signature pages and decide what we want to use and maybe what we don't want to use. And I want to make sure that there's a lot of journaling space in these journals. I've made some in the past where I was so excited about decorating them that I left very little room for journaling. So I want to make sure that these have some really good journaling space in them, a lot of places to write down things. It can be used as a journal or a commonplace book or just a record of whatever, maybe a travel vacation or something like that, a special event. These are month by month, so it might be fun to just use them as a monthly journal. So here are some of the printed pages I have from various kits. So I'm not going to get into where these all came from because they came from probably like a variation of 10 different kits that I had. Some of which I modified the pages to. So all I'm going to recommend is that you pull out some pages or some papers that you like. I'm also going to grab my coffee dyed papers, which I should have grabbed before. I'm sorry about that. To the side. Because, like I said, I want a lot of journaling space, so I have this thick folder. And I have some avocado dyed paper, some avocado dyed tracing paper, regular paper. This one clipped is tea dyed, but I'm more inclined to do coffee dyed, so that's what the majority of this is. This is some I did with spraying through some lace. All right, so let me pull out. I want to do some of the avocado dyed because I just think that it lends itself to the color of the journal. This one's a little brighter. And the way I make these is, there's a lot of videos out there. I'm not going to do an avocado or tea dyeing video, but I just, you know, dunk the paper or brush it, depending on what I'm doing, and then bake it in the oven, like around 200 to 225. But you could just leave it out to dry. You don't have to bake it, just so that it dries quickly. So I do mine in the oven. And that's it. That is it. And I put it under some flat books. Sometimes I might iron it. This one is really cool. I love these. This is a Oven X pan that has been passed down through our family. And when I tea dyed on it or coffee dyed on it for the first time, it gave me this really cool effect because it's got these like raised bumps. And I absolutely love the way that does that. So I have a lot of those. Just gonna grab some regular ones. Maybe 1 or 2 of these. One. And what else do I have here? A lot of really grungy ones. I just want some plain ones. This is a lighter one. I'll take that. Maybe a few more avocado. And then we'll mix these in. May not use all of these, and I can always put them back. And then I do want to take a few of these tracing paper ones. So they're fun because you can kind of see through them a little. Just kind of gives you a little haze. We'll do that one, and I know I have some in the avocado. Good. I have some of these book pages. Grab some of them. And a couple of these. So, but grab whatever's in your stash. And like I said, I may not use all of this, but I'll have it out and that'll be fun. Alright, I'm losing stuff. It's going all over the place. Let's get our stuff together. Okay, so we have all this, and then we have these pages. Now, these are going to be a full size because they were just, you know, coffee dyed or avocado dyed in this case. But some of these other pages are not going to be because I have to cut off those edges. So these would be just probably slightly under the size. That's okay. They'll work fine. And they will be beautiful. And I want to use the vellum because I love the way that the vellum shows through what's on the other side of the page. So I printed this one on the vellum so that we could have that effect. So as you can see, depending on what you put behind it, it gets a little more or a little less intense. And it just gives a really nice effect. And I just took a piece of vellum and I ran it through my inkjet printer, and that's what I got. So no special process there. So we have that, we have that. I'll just fold up a bunch of these and then we'll see what we're gonna use. And some of these are heavier weight, like a cardstock weight, and some are just a regular paper, you know, copy paper weight. I like to have a variety so that there is, you know, the heavier ones help support heavier items in the journal. So if you're making like a pocket that has a lot of tags in it, I like that. But the lighter weights are good to draw on. I would definitely want this one in there. So these are just digitals. I think this one's from the Graphics Fairy. Most of what I get is either from Etsy or the Graphics Fairy. Not sure if I'll use this one. I'm actually going to put that to the side because it is it's white on one side. Don't know that I'll be doing a lot of inking or painting, so I'm just gonna leave that. What else do I have in here? We can do that one because it's cut. It's another vellum sheet, or this one's tracing paper actually, that I printed on. This one's nice, I like this one. I'm gonna have to cut the edges off though. I like this one. And then these are just kind of pieces from a kit. Consider that. I'm going to put the rest of these to the side because I want to get a lot more of the regular paper in here. And these crinkly sheets, which I love. And you know what? This one I'm going to fold a little different. So on this side of the signature, when it's up against a piece of the paper, it'll be just short, right? And then on this side of the signature, I have an opportunity to fold this in and have a little flap. So just gonna hold that up like that. A little straighter. This paper, it gets a little wonky, especially this is tracing paper, so you can see like it's so weird. Paper is so interesting. I didn't really do anything to this paper except dye it, and it kind of shrunk in some places and expanded in others, but it's the beauty of it, right? All right, so we have that one. Fold up this pretty one. Has some of those rose red tones. You know, and I like this grungy style, but if you like a prettier, kind of cleaner look that is more bright, you could use you know, your regular copy paper. You could just use magazine pages or book pages in your journals. There's a lot of junk mail that you could use. You could paint on it or ink on it and then you know, turn it into a page in your journal. So you can go ahead and do a lot of different things where you don't have to, you know, have kits or things along those lines if you don't want to. I like to do a mix, and sometimes I make my own kit, so that works out well too. You know, just some digitals on the computer. Find a lot of free images on the internet that you can use, so that's always fun. You want to fold another one of these a little wonky. So, let's see. Fold you like that. Maybe we'll fold it right there. Give us some interest on our pages. So not everything has to be, you know, perfectly folded. So like this, that'll kind of hang over. We can make that a tuck if we wanted to. And then on this side, we can have a flap, or we could have another tuck or a double pocket if we glue it in the middle. So a lot of different options there. So I like to kind of mix it all up and, you know, just have some interesting pages within the journal. That this one is a book page, and it was baked and coffee dyed, and it's a little rough here. So I'm going to add a piece of washi. Excuse my arm. I think it's in your line of sight. just to give it a little more security there, so it doesn't fall apart when we get it in our journal. Just cut that off. And all these little things you do just kind of add interest, right? Where did that go? Oh, there you are. Went into a wormhole. So, you know, you can just take those pieces that you pull off and add them in. Kind of like that edge, so just cutting around that. And you can go there. And then now my page center there is a little more secure. So even if the paper does tear, that washi will kind of hold it in place. But just something to keep in mind if you're working with older pages, true vintage pages, or older book pages. They tend to get crispy, and I think that's more so from the iron and drying them in the oven. It just, you know, works with the fibers in a weird way. Well, this one fits fine. We'll do a couple more, and then we'll fit them together and see what we like and where we might want to add in. So I think I said I want to try to maybe do 2 signatures here. We'll see how that looks. No promises yet. And if I don't use them in this journal, I'll definitely use them in another one, since we're doing 12 of these, and then I have a bunch of my own that well, this is my own, but you know what I mean, like other ones. I think I might want to do that. Do that. All right, so let's see what we have so far and where we want to go from here. And I'll arrange these, but you know, I may change this up at some point and rearrange them again. Where are some of these? Mix and match and just see what I like. This piece didn't cut so well, so let me just cut that off. In there. So these are the ones that are just slightly smaller. So I may round them off with another regular size piece. Maybe we'll put a book page in there. And you want to make sure you situate these smaller pieces. I'm going to do a 3 pamphlet stitch. So I want to make sure that I get these in at least one of the holes, but more so it would be better if I could get it into at least where 2 of the holes are going through the paper. So you don't have to, you know, cite that now, but just keep that in mind for the future as you're building out your own pages, because you just want to be sure that you get a good grip on them. We got this one. And then maybe this one here, like so. Maybe one of these fun crinkly ones. There. All right, so how many we have here? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, let's move over here. Maybe we'll start with one of those. Put that there. Maybe one of these. That flips out. And another one of these. Maybe. What do we got here? Oh, we got that vellum piece. That's lovely, lovely. And then since we have that there, let's see. I want to put this. See how that looks through. We got that, or I think it might be better if I use this. Those are the cut ones, like that. And then that'll really kind of pop. So I like that. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Put in another pink, 7. And then maybe one of these for 8. So now they each have 8. I have some left over, so I'm just gonna 9 and 10. And then 9 and 10. Oh, all right, 11 each. Now, where do I want this one? I think I'm gonna flip this around, tuck this one in here, like so. And then we'll decide what I want to do with this. Maybe we'll just leave it for now. And then I have another crinkly one here, which I can, let's put it in here, right here at the beginning, like so. All right, so each of these have 11 sheets. Let's see how this fits before I go any further. Oh, that'll be nice. So they'll fit nicely in there. You can see where that's lining up with the spine, sorta. And then that gives me still quite a bit of room to kind of make these, you know, yummy. So I actually do like the 1.5 inch spine and 2 signatures. It still, oh, excuse me, it still gives us a lot of room to decorate, and it gives us a lot of room for writing and things like that. Now, if you're using this as a commonplace book, it may not matter so much. All right, that's gonna bother me, so I am gonna fold this. So let's make a decision. I'm gonna fold it this way, right there. No particular reason why, and when we get to that page, we'll figure out what we're doing with it. All right, so those are our signatures, and we can add to them. I did leave a little room, so let's see. Add this one. I don't know, that blue is very striking to me. So although I do love this red, I don't know that it's gonna work with this on the other side. So I'm gonna say no to that. This one has this green in it, so I think this is a really good one for this, but I am gonna have to cut it or tear it. Let's see about lengthwise or widthwise. Yeah, I'm gonna have to tear a little off of each side, but I do like this, and I like that it's shiny. It adds a little interest. So let's do that. Take a little off of here. Let's see. Do it like that. And then I like this ripped at the top, so let's see how that fits. Yeah, that's a good size. Let's see if we fold it. Good. All right, so I think I'll use this one in one of the signatures. Add a little interest in there. Sorry if that's shining in your face. I just realized it's like really glaring. Yeah, it'll be a little pop of something different there in the middle, though. That's all right. I'm going to leave them for now because you never know what you can turn that kind of overhang into, right? And now, since I have this, maybe this is a piece of that that we used on the edge. You know what I could do is, because I don't like the white, I don't want the white showing. Just trying to line this up. What I could do is glue them together, but have a pocket, so I could glue these sides down too. You see what I'm doing here. It'll make sense in a minute. And here. So I can glue these sides down like this, you know, these two sides, and then have a pocket here. However, that doesn't make any sense because I could do it this way. Yeah, so, and then this could go in here like that, and then I could have a pocket and a pocket. So, let's see. We'll give that some thought. Still have these. So I think I'll fold these and put them in. So I put that one in that one. I have some room in this one. Maybe I'll add this up at the top here. Maybe that can become a tuck or something. And I do like this one. And I also like this one. Though the black is... Although I do have this black from here that kind of would pull from that, so maybe we'll try that. Let me cut these down. Oh, and I didn't even check the other side. Okay, I'm not going to use that one. I don't want to get into the whole having to color it, so I might use them as pockets or something to kind of accent throughout. And these edges that I'm cutting off, I saved these. Corey Dahman did a whole video where she used these and like lined them all up in different directions and made cards out of them, and I thought it was absolutely genius. Because, you know, I don't throw them away per se because they go in my handmade paper bin, and I recycle them into handmade paper. But now I started saving them and putting them in their own, you know, cubby keeper, so that I want to try that process. And maybe we'll do that in a future video. But I'll... And when I do that, I'll link her video in that video. But it makes sense here. But yeah, so keep those little, even the tiniest, teeniest little strips are really good to keep. Let me just take a little bit more off of there. Tiniest bit. Like so. This one is just, I gotta put that in the handmade paper again. All right, so I do like this. I like those berries. They kind of bring that red back. And the mushrooms obviously go with like a forest type theme. So we'll use that. And where should we put it? And see what I mean? Like if you don't sew your signatures in, you give yourself a lot of opportunity to kind of switch things around and stuff, you know? All right, I think that's good. I don't want to go too much more because we are going to add bulk with decorating and who knows what else. So that's where we're going to leave that. So that's our signatures for now. Actually, let me, one more. While I have it sit on the desk, we can put it here. Like so. There. All right. Good. We're done. Those are our signatures. Thank you for joining me in part 2 of this fairy making journal for January with the forest fairies. And I will see you in the next video where we will start to decorate out our pages and we'll use some fun techniques, and that'll be a great way to kind of give you some experience if you're new to building out some simple pockets and tags and folds and tucks and stuff like that. We'll do some embellishments and just go over a couple of really fun and simple techniques. So thank you for joining me in the studio today. I hope you'll check out all the videos in the description, and I'll have a full playlist for this so you can follow along throughout the year as we go month by month and build out our fairy journals. Thank you for joining me. I think I said that for the 4th time now, so I am very grateful. And thank you for all the comments you leave me and the thumbs up and encouraging me to continue on doing these videos. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next video. Have a great rest of your day. Bye!